I mean, I know how independent you are just as an individual. And I mean, I only met you in your 40s, so you had a lifetime of independence. Do you feel like I'm stealing something from you? Like, am I?
Kind of, yeah. And that's funny because it's not like something I think all the time, but there's times when I feel like, you do other stuff. Like you don't let me touch the car door, right? You want to open the car door for me, which is great. You want to take a shower after me so that you can clean the shower.
Yeah.
Afterwards, swipe down the glass and do all the things. Right. And you go as far as to when we're eating, you wait for me to take the first bite before you eat. And I don't know, maybe in my mind, I'm just like, you don't have to wait for me. Just take the bite.
Welcome to Couples Unfiltered. I'm Lionel, a retired Marine drill instructor and master sergeant, and a widower learning to navigate life after loss.
And I'm Natalie, a retired nurse, also widowed. And now together, we're navigating grief, healing, midlife changes, family dynamics, and everything in between.
Join us as we have real, unfiltered conversations about love, loss, and relationships.
We'll share stories, talk to others about their journeys, and drop a few cheat codes for making relationships work.
Listen, it's raw, it's real, and it's unfiltered.
Let's get started.
What?
You don't always have to pull my chair out.
Why not?
Because sometimes it's just not necessary.
Okay. I mean, I feel it's necessary for me to do that for you. But what is it that's happening when I pull your chair out? Like, why is it an issue?
It's not always an issue, but sometimes I think that, I don't know, sometimes it feels like I can do it. Like,
yeah. I mean, I know you can do it, but I appreciate you. So this is like, that's kind of like my way of just showing you that I appreciate you, that I care about you.
I know.
Care about you.
I don't care how many years we've been together. It's hard for me to get used to that chivalry that you are always giving. It's always going to feel a little uncomfortable. Not in every situation, but I think I just, I don't know. I don't come from that.
Okay.
Not that people I was with before, my late husband or anything, was like a jerk, but it just wasn't innate. So when you do it, it feels like, I feel like I can do that. Why are you doing that for me?
I mean, I know how independent you are just as an individual. And I mean, I only met you in your 40s, so you had a lifetime of independence. Do you feel like I'm stealing something from you? Like, am I?
Kind of, yeah. And that's funny because it's not like something I think all the time, but there's times when I feel like, you do other stuff. Like you don't let me touch the car door, right? You want to open the car door for me, which is great. You want to take a shower after me so that you can clean the shower.
Yeah.
Afterwards, swipe down the glass and do all the things.
Right.
And you go as far as to when we're eating, you wait for me to take the first bite before you eat. And I don't know, maybe in my mind, I'm just like, you don't have to wait for me. Just take the bite. It's fine. Like, I'm not feeling like you're being disrespectful.
That's partially military. It's partially military. It's partially the fact that I'm like, especially if I'm cooking, I want you to have that first bite to make sure that it's all good. I've already tasted everything.
You do that at restaurants too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. It's a respect thing, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I don't.
You come first. So.
And I appreciate it, right? And I'm not saying I want you to stop doing that because, of course, this is not a conversation about you not opening my door. I appreciate
ain't never opening the door no more, is it?
No, please open the door. Please do the thing.
Yeah, of course.
I guess the idea. So we weren't even going to be talking about this.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
So welcome. So we're here. Something happened a little bit ago, and I think that that's a good subject to kind of start off with.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
interesting that we've talked about this before, and I don't know how to like explain it because it sounds like I'm being a princess or I'm being, not being grateful or not having gratitude for my partner being chivalrous. Because I think that, when I was growing up, even if subconsciously I didn't even know it was something I wanted, it was always something that, you see on TV, a good man, or not necessarily it makes him a good man, but any good man that you see that somebody would say, oh, that's a good man right there. They always do those things.
And opening up the door and pulling out the chair.
Yeah. And so even though I may have at some point in my life said, ooh, I wish a man would do that for me, or my man never does that for me, or whatever I would think. Now that I have somebody who does that all the time, I realize that I got some issues, where I feel like there are some things that you do that make me feel, number one, because I've been through this, if you're not here anymore, be it some tragic, event or whatever, what am I going to do? I don't know how to do those things. I'm going to miss all of those things that you do.
Yeah.
I even catch myself sometimes, like yesterday, we were washing the cars in the driveway and you were being silly. You were dancing. We were listening to like 90s R&B.
Yeah.
And you were doing like all the dances to these slow songs and to these, upbeat songs that were, according to these songs. Yeah. Those are the dances that went with the song. And I'm trying to wash the car and I look over and you're doing some dance all by yourself, not even like saying, hey, look at this. You're just doing it. And the first thing that comes to my mind is when you're gone, those are the moments I'm going to remember that I don't have anymore.
Yeah.
Right. So there's something psychological about if you're gone, I'm going to miss you opening my door. I'm going to miss you cooking for me. I'm going to miss you cleaning the dishes after you cook. I'm going to miss you bringing me water while we're watching movies or making popcorn and bringing me a bowl while I'm chilling with my feet up and all those chivalrous things. I'm going to get in the shower and I'm going to open the door and be like, oh, I have to like go get my towel on my own because usually my husband's standing out there waiting to hand me my towel.
Right.
Which I believe those are all things that stand out, because I'm not used to that. And I don't think too many women are used to their man standing outside the shower and handing them their towel when they take a shower. Although there's benefits for you, I guess.
There's benefits, yeah.
You do have a glass shower.
I get to, watch the show. No,
yeah, that's something else I never get used to. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, the chivalry is great.
Yeah.
But I don't know why it comes with, some weirdness for me.
As you say this and you talk about Greg passing and then thinking about me not being here. And it takes me back to having a conversation with my grandmother and my mother, because she talks about my grandfather, my grandmother's second husband. It's long. But when he passed away, she didn't know how to do a lot of things. She didn't know how to write a check. She wasn't familiar with dealing with vehicles. So there was a lot of things that she had to learn because he did it for her. Mm-hmm. And I can see that being an issue.
Yeah. I mean, if I go deeper, I think I watched my mom be that person for a while too. Mm-hmm. With my dad, always kind of doing things for him that were almost servantry like. And I had some animosity towards that because watching their relationship be so, not good.
Yeah.
And she allowed a lot to happen in their relationship. And we, as children, witnessed her being abused in so many different ways. I mean, he was verbally abusive to her. He was physically abusive, not on a daily, but, push her around kind of thing. And it was usually related to his alcohol abuse, but, where she was just weak and kind of she didn't fight back.
Yeah.
And so that built this exterior in me of, I'm never going to be that person. I'm never going to let a man do things for me or make me do things for him where I feel like weak or I feel like I can't stand up for myself or I feel like I'm losing my independence, right? So I kind of went through my life. I'm taking care of me. I am keeping me safe. I'm going to be the one to create opportunities for me. I don't need anybody to fix my car. I used to change the oil in my car when I was 16, 17 years old. I didn't want anybody doing anything for me, let alone a man or my man, right? But that also brings up the idea of there's women out there, which I was one of them for a very long time, that wonder why they can't, keep the relationship from kind of, I don't know, it's like as a woman like that, I feel like there's things I want out of a man, but yet I won't allow him to be that, right? Like emasculating, right? So like you want to do stuff for me, but I feel like if you do it, I'm going to become weaker.
Well, let me pause you real quick and let's talk about weak and what you said with your mother. Outside looking in, I don't know if she was necessarily weak. I think what she might have been doing was protecting you guys, being a cushion between what was going on with your dad and him not getting to you guys. And she was being the buffer in between. There's a song where, and I know I've been binging belief music, but there's a song in there where he says the pillow was playing it off, saying like, the pillow is supposed to be this soft thing, but this soft thing is providing a safe landing for other things. So in actuality, this thing that is perceived to be soft is actually probably the hardest thing on the planet.
Well, same analogy when men call each other the P word.
Absolutely. That's, this
creates
the strongest thing in creating life. And, but I just want to curb the thought of weakness, because not everything that may be perceived as weak is weak. So that's a buffer.
Yeah,
she served as a buffer.
I think I see that now, as an adult.
Of course.
Of course, definitely I see that now, but it still shaped who I became.
No, I know. I know that.
Sucks because I spent so many years actually seeing men do that, thinking, oh, she's letting him take over everything. Like to me, it looks like manipulation. It looks like like I joke around a lot and I say things like, you are so chivalrous and you are so thoughtful and you're always so concerned about me that it almost feels unreal, right? Because you see that stuff on TV and you think people really act like that. Guys don't really behave that way. And I think to myself, the way you are, people probably think you have like what's the snake charmer? Like
Well, you say vampire.
I say vampire because the movies I've watched, the vampires look at people in the eyes and they're like
hypnotized or something.
That's the word. Yeah. And there was another word we just said, like your mind, I don't know, but yeah, you
can say vampire because if they do a Sinners Part 2, I want to be all in that movie. I'm chocolatey enough to be.
Well, yeah, I won't let you in. I'm not trying to be going out like that. But anyway. Yeah, because people who do that stuff in public have like a
like an ulterior motive or something like that. Well,
it's kind of like a reputation of having you only do that in public, right? You do it so everybody else can see you do it.
Yeah.
And I get concerned that. And I know I shouldn't be worried about what people think, but because I had a hard time believing that you were that way naturally, I think others, like my friends and my family who are just now getting to know you as part of the family, would think that that's something you put on for them. And they don't realize that you do that all day at home too. And so I guess I get a little defensive for you, and I'm protective of you also because I want people to realize that that's who you are.
As I go through life, and approaching 50, the give of care is not really there. And I know what my priority is. My priority is you. And if everyone around us gets to benefit from the love that I show you, then that's the main point. We always talk about paparazzi. Our kids live in the house. They need to see me loving their mother the way that she's supposed to be loved.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to do. And that just happens to bleed outside to where we don't have to pretend. You know, the training takes place. And, you know, we talk about like kids and how kids behave outside is a reflection of how they are in the house. It's the same thing with relationships. You can always tell when somebody's essentially pretending. There's a flare up that'll happen. Like if there's a public conversation or a public argument or disagreement that happens, you can see in that other person that, oh shoot, they may pop off at home quite often.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean I see that from.
Yeah, but I feel like people see you and they think that, because sometimes we have intense conversations where we're just talking about random stuff.
Yeah.
And you got these
facial
expressions.
I can't fix my face. My face is.
I know, but like even if we're disagreeing about something, you
Yeah.
get very animated and you have these like stern looks on your face, and you are the perfect person to do like a video of when someone says make a sad face, and then you make a sad face, make an angry face, and then it's like you do that when you're talking. And so people like to sit and watch people
And just
pretend like if they can't hear, they're going to be like, oh, they're arguing. He's like yelling at her and he's threatening her life because you're so intense with the way you communicate. So I guess I'm just hyper aware of what people are seeing. And that comes from also being in a situation where you're walking on eggshells because somebody's about to blow. And you're trying to get everyone else to calm down. Like, don't let them see you mad, because once they see you mad, then there's going to be a spectacle. So you're just kind of waiting for them to kind of you're trying to keep it calm. Like, don't start. Like, it's this weird walking on eggshells thing.
It was a hard place for us to be as well, because, again, we were both married for many years, and we've experienced certain things when we were out. And if we see something in each other that may be triggering, it's like we want to curb that, because I know what can come from that, and we try our best to protect each other, even if it's not along those lines. It's just
it's what you're used to.
Oh
doing.
shoot,
yeah.
I see it, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna continue to protect you. And
well, I also watch that happen in other people's relationships too. But I was gonna go back to something we were talking about with you being chivalrous, right? So. Like I've seen it several times, and most of the men that we're hanging out with, we're in couples where the ego is not so big that it's a problem or anything, but where they watch you be chivalrous to me, and then they say something like, "Oh shoot, I guess I should pull her chair out too," and then they try, and it's all awkward, and the girl's all pissed. She's like, "Why you do that now? You never do that before. Why you do that now?" Or when you open the car door for me, and then they go to their car. And then the girl goes to the car. She just stands there. Are you gonna open my door too? And it makes the guy feel like, oh shoot, should I be doing this? And hopefully they go home and have a conversation or whatever. But I also think that it's weird if someone's trying to do that, and is they do it once or twice and then they forget because it's not normal for them. Right. It's not the average thing. But girls can't, or the partner can't give them a hard time if they're trying. But what does that mean? That's the question. So for you, when you open my door, for you it means, well, it's natural for you. So
it's natural for me, and
it means I'm taking care of her.
Yes.
But where's the danger in me opening my door?
There's no danger
There's
in that.
A monster in the car.
I mean, it could be. I mean, I gotta maybe open up the door, see what's going on inside the house or the situation. But for me, it is a respect thing. I respect you as my wife, as the person that I honor. So not in order for me to honor you, but being able to honor you, I want to do those things for you. And in essence, I want to erase however many years of you not having, you not being honored, you not being respected in whatever relationship it was. I can't go back and fight your old boyfriends that treated you bad.
Oh, well, I might be able to find their address.
Well, you can find the address. I'm going to go visit. I'll jump on. No. But it's not my job to go back and defend you in that manner from 30 years ago. But it is my job to try to erase some of the trauma, however small it may be. Somebody not doing that for you. I can imagine some dude in your VW club or what have you, and y'all getting in the car, and he gets in the car and shuts the door, and you standing outside, and you, okay, let me open up the door. Oh, it's fine. That's just him. Or somebody going and buying food and bringing the food back, and they get what they want, and they didn't even think about what you may want. I think about those things, and I think about whatever scar tissue you may have, and I want to erase that. As your husband, as the person that has made vows to you, I want to honor those vows, to be there for you, to take care of you, to honor, to love, to respect. I want to do those things for you. And if me showing up every day and opening up your door or pulling out your seat or making coffee for you, having it prepared for you, I want to take things off of your plate.
Yeah.
I don't want to take your independence away from you, because I think that is extremely important. You being the very strong woman that you are. I always talk about you being the boss. You're the boss. I want to take things off of your plate without taking away your independence.
Right. And I think that's the way that you do it. And I have to be soft enough to let you do that, because that's your love language.
Yeah.
That's the way that you show those things to me, even though it's unusual and I'm not used to that and it's not the average bear. That's the way you showed the love. So I have to be able to get out of my own head about what it means to me, or where I think it originates from, and accept it and kind of be able to live with it and look at it as if it went away, would I like that? No. Yeah. But it's not to say that all men should be that way, because I don't think it makes you a better man. I think it just makes you a more chivalrous man. Yeah. And it's something that I didn't know that I needed, obviously, or I didn't know that I would want, or I didn't know that I would like until it was happening to me. Right. Guarantee you, if you stop doing it, I won't like that. But it's one of those things where I feel bad for like another guy who feels like he should be doing those things. If it doesn't change anything, it just maybe is like flirting. I don't know. I don't know what that would do. But anyway, I feel bad because I don't like it sometimes. Or I shouldn't say I don't like it. I feel bad when I am annoyed by it. There's times where you do it in a way where I'm just like, it's not necessary right now. Or, there's a lot of jerks in the room that you're gonna make them feel like more like jerks because you're doing that. I'm like, let's give the jerks a break. I don't know.
Well, maybe it's teaching as well. Maybe some of these guys never experienced that because of their generational trauma. Maybe their dad didn't do it for their mom, and their dad wasn't around, and so on and so forth. Yeah. And now they're with someone who sees it, who watches the rom-coms and all of those things, and I'm like, I wish I had that. And they don't really communicate well enough to be able to say, I would like for you to do this, or they don't feel safe saying that because that's going to cause an argument. Maybe that's just, all right, I saw him do it, and he looked kind of manly when he did it. He didn't like a punk or something like that, because that's what most people would tend to say.
That's what I was going to say. Is it?
Oh, like, that dude's he's whipped, or he's a punk, or he's X, Y, and Z, or whatever. It was like, no, that dude he looked pretty cool doing that. Maybe I can give it a try, and let me see the result of me doing that I don't feel, I don't feel less than. As a matter of fact, I feel a little bit more,
But do you think there's I wonder what people would say if they had to weigh in on the idea of when women say, I wish you would open my door. Can you open my door? How come you don't do this? Or it would be nice if you do that. Then the guy really doesn't want to do it.
I know, because it's the delivery. Everything could either be terrible or great. Just depends on the delivery. That's everything.
Yeah, but that's a skill.
I
Because
don't know,
I'm
maybe.
telling you, I think when we first were dating, I was like, that's my response to you doing all those things. I was like, I can open the door.
That was your response to our first interaction. What are you doing?
Well, yeah, and I know I have issues, but so like when you did that initially, my first reaction was, why are you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
I can do it myself, even if I didn't physically respond that way.
Right.
In my head, I'm like, trying to take my independence away. We're gonna start off wrong from the beginning. But it's interesting because you talked about mimicking or showing that behavior to your children.
Yeah.
And I will say that Jackson, when we're by ourselves, me and Jackson, and we're going to the dentist or the orthodontist or wherever we are, he goes to open the door for me.
I love it.
And does the whole open the door, step back, let me in first. There was a while there where he would open the door and walk through it and then hold it for me.
Yeah.
That was always something I corrected him on that. I'm like, if you're going to open the door, you need to stand behind the door so that if someone else is behind me, you can hold it for them as well. But what's funny about that is that, so I kind of feel some kind of way when you do that for other women. Which is weird because I think that's just such a specific thing that I see every time you do it. I see it when you do it for me. So anytime, okay, so like you also do this thing when we're walking, which I think is kind of a natural thing for most men, some men. We're walking like down the street and just say the side of the car is going by, you always push me over to the side that's inside.
Don't say push. You make it seem aggressive. Like I'll be like, get her away.
Well, you kind of take me and guide me over, which you touch me.
Yeah.
It's like pushing. In my mind, you trigger me because I'm like, you pushing?
What are you pushing?
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, he's just getting me out of the way of the cars because he's, the Winter Soldier and he's going to stop the car when it comes to hit me.
Thank you.
I got that right.
Thank you. Yes, you did. I love the nerd reference. I appreciate it.
The strong arm guy? Yeah, okay. So, and I'm thinking, he's not going to stop a car. Like, what the hell? Why are you here in between the cars? What do you think you're going to do for the cars? But I'm thinking, oh, you're going to push me out of the way, or you're going to see it first, or whatever it is. But there's times where in the beginning of our relationship, when we were in situations where we had like coworkers with us, or you were with coworkers and I wasn't there, or I could see you from afar, because sometimes I could see out of a window and you'd be far, like across the street.
So you was watching me. You was eyeballing me. You was checking for me. Go and say yes. I like
no,
that.
I was probably going, how many minutes does it take for him to come back here because he's good? I'm just kidding. I might have been. I don't know. I don't remember that far away. But I would see you do that with other women. Or like move them aside, or open the door for them. And so it takes the value off of what you do for me down a notch or two, because you do that for everybody, which is something I had a problem with in the beginning of our relationship. So I know these sound kind of like silly things, and these are not very, things to be complaining about, but it's a problem for us.
It's not though, because that gave us an opportunity to have a really good conversation early in our relationship, and not just having a good conversation, but how to communicate. Like, you were able to tell me something that you were clearly upset about without it being a issue, without us having to argue about it. It was, listen, I don't like this at all. These are the reasons why I don't like this. If everybody is special, then I'm not special.
Exactly. And for me, it was so new to have the chivalry on the level of which you were constant. Your consistency was nuts, right? It was always, it wasn't just sometimes. And I was thinking, of course, in the beginning, oh, it's going to go away because it's just the beginning and everybody acts on their best behavior in the beginning. So, of course, I noticed the chivalry more than you probably realized. I was very astute to every little thing you were doing, and it was special. Like, oh, I feel different. This is different. This is interesting. I feel like he doesn't do this for everyone. And then when I see you do that for other people, I'm like, oh, this is just the way he is. So yeah, but we had a conversation, and I said, it makes me feel some kind of way when you do what you do for me, for pretty much every female, and makes you look like you might be a little flirty, or you're trying to be attractive to a female because that's something females like, or, oh, I like it when he opens the door for me. So maybe he's flirting with me. Because if you did that and we weren't dating, I would think maybe that was the case. Like, you're trying to impress me. You're trying to impress me. You're trying to make me feel special in the moment, holding my door. It's not like I'm going inside of a store and a man just holds the door because it's nice.
Right. He's coming out, you're going in.
Yeah, it's more of a every little thing there, every little opportunity there is to be chivalrous, that's you. So I had to tell you, I need you to chill out on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I don't like everybody feeling the way I feel.
Exactly.
Because I'm supposed to feel different than the average person. And now you have a thing you said you do with the door.
I'm going to kick the door.
No,
like, if I see somebody else coming, if I hold the door for you and somebody else is like, if you're going out the door and a female is coming in the door, then I'm going to push the door so they can engage and grab it without me holding the door. Or I'm going to hold it in such a manner of, I'm just holding the door. Anybody can come in. Yeah, I see you coming. I'm going to hold the door. You grab the handle. Okay.
Well, you have to know that I'm not
even
asking
exchange.
you to do that. I'm just
just
trying to shed some light on how it, it makes me feel, which is my problem.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's just a you thing. I think it's a many people thing. There's
many people, like many people.
Many people. No. Many, like a lot of people. There's billions of people on the planet. And say if we just split it half and half, men and women, then there's several billion people that don't get the door held for them or get the door open for them and it's open for other people. You're special. You need to know that you're special in my eyes. So therefore, it's not my job, but it's my intent to make sure that whatever the situation is, you are special because you are special to me. You're the light in my life, lady. So.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of heard that before. From you. I appreciate it. No, I appreciate it. And I do need to work on letting you be the man that you are, because I think there's a difference between what, as women, we think is being a man and what their man's intentions are in the relationship. So I need to take a step back and really go deeper and ask those questions about why it bothers me. Why does it annoy me? I can do these things. Like, the actual fear of the loss of my independence is a silly thing. It's, unless I lose my brain cells somehow or I start developing signs of dementia, I'm not going to forget how to open a door. And I'm not going to forget how to do dishes. I might forget how to do laundry.
Yeah.
So you need to really keep doing that. Probably.
I got you on the laundry. I like doing laundry.
Yeah. But, I mean, it's just something that I think about, and I know it's kind of silly problems in a relationship to be complaining about. We don't have a lot of things that we don't talk about and squash when they come up.
I don't think it's silly, though. I don't think it's silly. I think it provides space for people to have good conversation, for people to be able to talk about something. These things, these small things, the things that we may see are small because we've experienced many years of life in relationships. There's people that are just starting out in relationships and they just don't know how to communicate.
Yeah.
The small things can become very big. Dishes can be a 3-day argument. Oh, you supposed to do the dishes. I did the dishes last week. You didn't. That can become a huge argument if people don't know how to say, this is how I feel. When I grew up, I was supposed to do the dishes.
Yeah.
Before anybody went to bed, the dishes were all done. The light over the stove was on. That means the kitchen's closed. And you might have grown up in a house where dishes wasn't a really big deal. You could just take it and just put it in the sink, and somebody will get to it at some point in time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a conversation. That's things that people need to discuss so that they stay happy and in love.
Right. And it shouldn't be that they don't go deeper into why.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not just the other person doing the thing.
Yeah.
It's why does it bother you so much?
Yeah.
You know, unless you have an agreement and your agreement is broken,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys talk about the things and the person repetitively keeps, doing the same behavior over and over again, that's a whole different issue. But yeah, I think that it all comes down to conversation, because when you do that thing, like when we go out the garage door,
Mm-hmm.
and you push open the regular door to the house to go out into the garage, and you stand there in the way to hold the door like it's gonna hurt me if it closes on me, and I get annoyed because it's a small space or whatever it is. It's me. I have to be the one to be like, I see that he's just doing what he does. Like, let him do it. That's my problem that I need to look into deeper as to why it annoys me. But we have to have that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I have to table it for later and say, hey, I'm just going to tell you that, like, if I look annoyed or if I act annoyed, it's because I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do this, it triggers something in me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's maybe try to figure out what that trigger is, or where it came from in my past, or what is it about that causes a trigger for me, so that I know, or that if we get into any other kind of issues, it might be a similar, subject, or a similar trigger.
Yeah. You do a great job by bringing a subject to the table without it being a problem. You do a really good job by that. And some things can be huge problems. I was in a relationship where the smallest things were big problems. Therefore, it causes scar tissue and not wanting to talk about something because it can explode into something much bigger. Mm-hmm. But you do a really good job at that. And I hope that the people that you are surrounded by that witness this, your friends, your family, or whatnot, they're able to follow your lead.
Yeah, if I bring something up, it's not because I want to be right, or because I want to, hey, I'm going to give you some information you don't have, or I have the power in this conversation because I'm going to call something out that you do that's negative. I always tell people, if I'm doing something that's offensive or that you believe is, wrong or whatever, please let me know, but let me know soon, because if you can't recall exactly what it was later at a later date, then I might not remember what I did, or feel the thing I felt, or see the environment, and then be able to recall exactly what I said and what my actual intention was, because maybe you misunderstood it. Mm-hmm. Maybe my intention was for you to understand one thing and you heard something else and went with it, and now you're trying to bring it up to me later and I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's no assumptions.
Yeah. So when you do something, part of it might be that I interpreted it wrong. Mm-hmm. Or your intention was interpreted wrong. That's why sometimes I stop and say, hey, remind me to ask you about what you did right now later, because I might not remember the scenario. And then I'm trying to bring up something and I'm like, I don't even remember how that went. So when we're having those deep conversations in the middle of like having a, gathering with friends or something, it's not to pull you out of a mood. It's to say, okay, you just did this thing and I want you to remember what you did so that we can talk about it later. Or I just did this thing. Did it look some kind of way or whatever? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's weird, but it works because it helps us have that conversation later. Yeah. But it all comes down to just, if you're that close to your partner and you guys are in intimate situations in other ways, you should be able to take the ego out of it and just say, I felt this way when this happened. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean you made me feel this way. Right. It's just whatever it was that triggered me, I want to figure out what it is so that I don't keep carrying it into the next interaction, into the next conversation where I feel that way. And I'm just wandering about, mad and irritated or whatever, blaming you when it's my problem that needs to be having the light shed on it so we can figure it out together. And it helps you navigate how you communicate with your partner. Yeah.
We talked in a previous episode about loading up magazines with rounds. Mm-hmm. And the problems become the rounds that we're loading up. We're not doing that. We're not at war with one another.
Yeah.
So we need to be able to handle situations, communicate properly, continue to grow.
Yeah.
So this is great.
Yeah, we'll have to save the next thing. For the next time. The other thing for the next time.
The actual conversation we were supposed to have, but I think this was really good to sit down and just talk about how you feel and how I feel when it comes to being chivalrous and taking care of each other and loving each other.
But I want people to be chivalrous because they want to be chivalrous, not because they feel like they're supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because then if it's fake,
not genuine. Yeah.
It's like me going to In-N-Out. I don't like In-N-Out, so I would not want to go to In-N-Out. It would be fake. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Tanner's Prime. Anyway, yes, I agree with that. So we'll just keep modeling that behavior, and I'll keep pretending like I'm not annoyed by any of it every time you do it in front of people. I'll just be like, oh, thanks, babe, for pulling out my chair. And I want you to pull out my chair. Except the stools are too high for me because I'm short. You know, you pull those out and I get in, then I have to go like.
No, you just sit down and I got you.
You're all picking me up like a high chair and pushing me in. That's what I don't like. Don't do that. Don't pick up the chair with me in it.
Like, I'm a grown woman. Don't put me down.
Yeah, that's where it gets a little awkward.
Yeah. Well, thank you for this conversation.
Thank you for this conversation.
And to all of you out there, thank you for taking the time just to sit down with us and listen. Please continue to like, subscribe, follow, share with all your friends.
Just a quick reminder, we are not licensed therapists, and everything we discuss here is based purely on our personal opinions and life experiences. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss a future conversation.
This podcast is brought to you in collaboration with A Different Day Radio Productions, a podcast network bringing radio to the modern age. It's recorded at the Film Hub in Vista, California, a creative, collaborative co-working environment. Thank you so much for tuning in.